I love thinking about wild, what-ifs. And today I'm asking the biggest one. What would happen if some of Earth's deadliest extinct predators suddenly showed up in our world? Picture oceans, rivers, forests, plains being patrolled by giants so terrifying they make modern apex predators look like puppies. I'm talking about creatures that evolved to be perfect killing machines, and imagining how they'd tear through ecosystems, cities, our expectations. This video is bigger than just cool facts. It's about scale fear, how life adapts when the rules change. I'll walk you through 10 extinct killers, from a bus-sized shark to a saber-toothed ambush specialist, and break down how each one would dominate, survive, change our planet. Buckle up. We're going to, zoom into jaws, claws, and the brutal logic of evolution like never before. Imagine a shark the size of a bus. Megalodon would rule modern oceans. It could crush whales and outcompete today's apex predators. If Megalodon patrolled our seas, shipping lanes would be different. Whale populations would be dramatic populations, and our entire relationship with wild landscapes would become a lot more cautious. Spinosaurus, a semi-aquatic giant, could dominate rivers and coastlines, hunting large fish and coastal megafauna. Imagine estuaries, deltas, shallow seas patrolled by a dinosaur built to swim and ambush from the water. Long snout, crocodile-like teeth, and a sail that may have made it a living billboard. It would compete with sharks and crocs, and on land it could ambush unsuspecting animals coming to drink, making riverbanks the most dangerous places on Earth. Its dual lifestyle would let Spinosaurus exploit resources other predators can't, altering fish stocks and impacting coastal communities. Fisheries would be devastated where Spinosaurus chooses to feed, and mangrove and coastal ecosystems would be reshaped by both predation and physical disturbance. Local human populations might avoid water entirely in some regions, shifting settlements and economies inland to escape the shadow of a swimming giant. Giganotosaurus would challenge large modern megafauna with speed and sheer size. This predator was built for power and reach, able to wrestle down animals far bigger than itself through coordinated bites and slashing teeth. In a modern setting, it would target bison, elephants, rhinos, forcing herds to adopt new defensive strategies or shift ranges to escape these leviathans. Where Giganotosaurus roamed, ecosystems would see more carcasses and scavenging opportunities, fueling complex communities of smaller predators and decomposers. Human-wildlife conflict would spike in regions with large ungulates. Wildlife managers would have to innovate to protect livestock and tourists. In short, Giganotosaurus would be a disruptive force, turning established hierarchies upside down with every thunderous step. Smilodon used ambush and devastating bite to the throat or belly, perfect for hunting large ungulates in dense habitats today. Its stocky build, powerful forelimbs, and iconic saber teeth made it a closed-quarters killer, optimized for surprise attacks in forests, scrub, and rocky terrain. Modern deer, elk, and moose populations could be heavily impacted where Smilodon hunts, because open habitats would favor escape, but cover would favor the cat. Beyond direct kills, Smilodon's presence would change animal behavior. More vigilance altered grazing patterns and new migration corridors to avoid ambush zones. Urban edges, rural lands could become hotspots for deadly encounters, and ranching practices would evolve to protect livestock. Guardian animals, reinforced pens, and curfews might be the new normal. The elegance of a cat becomes terrifying when paired with 7-inch canines built to slice deep. Andrewsarchus, a massive carnivorous mammal, hunt across open plains, outcompeting modern large predators. Supersized wolf hyena, with a skull designed for crunching bone and a hunger for big opportunities. It would dominate carcass sites, steal kills, and bully other predators out of prime feeding grounds, creating a new apex scavenger-predator hybrid that shapes the savannas and steppes. That dominance would ripple through ecosystems. Less food for current scavengers, greater competition for big cats and canids, an ecosystem structured around a single omnivorous powerhouse. Human systems like pastoralism and transport corridors would suffer increased depredation, forcing changes in animal husbandry. possibly spawning industries around deterrence and coexistence. Andrewsarchus would be both a hunter and a cleanup crew that changes resource distribution everywhere it walks. The giant croc Sarcosuchus would dominate waterways capable of taking down large mammals at riverbanks like a living tank. Picture a crocodile so big it could drag wildebeest and young elephants into the water with ease. Rivers would become predation corridors. Lakes would become predation corridors where animals hesitate to drink. Its armored build and ambush style would let it hold territory for years, turning riverbanks into no-go zones for many species. Human communities that depend on rivers for drinking, bathing, agriculture would be especially vulnerable. Bridges and crossings would need redesigning to minimize encounters. The ecological effect would be brutally simple: high mortality at water points, changes herd movements, plant communities shift with new grazing patterns, and disease dynamics could change due to carcass concentrations. Sarcosuchus would be a slow-moving revolution in freshwater dominance. Thylacolio's powerful forelimbs shearing bite deadly ambush predator, highly effective in forested terrain or rocky terrain. This marsupial lion was built like a grizzly-sized cat with bone-crushing premolars adapted for slicing flesh. Introduced into modern forests, Thylacolio would prey on wallaby-sized animals up to large deer, forcing a retreat from thick understory into more open, risky areas. Its influence would ripple into biodiversity. Plants that rely on certain herbivores for seed dispersal would see shifts, and smaller predators would either adapt or be pushed aside. Human hikers would face stealthy day or night ambush risk, and rural communities would face the same risk, prompting new safety norms and possible nocturnal curfews in hot zones. Thylacoleo's presence would make hidden places feel suddenly dangerous, reshaping how we use and value forested landscapes. Arctodus's size and speed would let it bulldoze competitors and threaten any medium to large prey across open landscapes. Its sheer size would be obvious, and its speed would let it threaten medium to large prey. This short-faced bear combined height with a long stride. It could sprint down prey, or intimidate other predators into abandoning kills. Where it roamed, the mere possibility of an Arctodus encounter would shift scavenging hierarchies. It would also alter herd behavior. Prey would avoid open plains where the bear could use its speed. Human-wildlife interactions would be intense, livestock losses. Rare but catastrophic encounters would happen. Communities would need fortified camps and fast response ranger teams. Conservation strategies would change. Tourism would be affected. Safari vehicles and hikers would face new risks. Arctodus would be the ultimate deterrent animal, forcing societies to respect open landscape corridors in ways we rarely have to today. Utahraptor, a large, pack-capable raptor, would be a lethal, coordinated hunter, fast, intelligent, deadly against sizable prey. Imagine packs of these feathered speedsters coordinating ambushes, using deadly claws and brains to exploit weaknesses in herds and even human defenses. Their agility and potential social structure mean they could target young, old, injured animals efficiently, and a coordinated raptor pack is far more dangerous than a lone predator. In modern ecosystems, Utahraptor packs would pressure ungulate populations, push other predators into odd niches, and make open cover and agricultural fields riskier at dawn and dusk. Early warning systems, changes to livestock husbandry, bringing animals in at night. The psychological effect alone, knowing intelligent pack hunters are nearby, would change how communities move and thrive. We just imagined 10 prehistoric apex predators reclaiming pieces of our planet, and it's clear, life would rearrange itself fast. From oceanic megasharks to pack-hunting raptors, each would force ecosystems to adapt and force human societies to adapt. The big takeaway, not just terrifying animals, but massive shifts to resource flows, animal behaviors, human infrastructure. Thinking through this helps us appreciate the power and fragility of modern ecosystems and why conserving existing apex species matters. It also sparks a kind of awe. Evolution doesn't negotiate; these killers are millions of years of perfected predation. If they returned, we'd learn to coexist and learn to survive in real time. Thanks for taking this ride with me into a world rewritten by predators. Smash that like, subscribe for more epic hypotheticals. Tell me which extinct creature you'd want to see come back or which you'd build a fortress against. Let's keep the conversation wild.